To our city council meeting for October the 27th of 2022 at 6 p.m. Citizens are encouraged to follow the COVID-19 safety measurements provided by the CDE guidelines. This meeting will be open to the public. However, meetings are also available to watch on your YouTube. Please mute your phones and computers to avoid any interference during this meeting. Okay, call to order. Greetings again. Thank you very much for being here. We appreciate each and every one of y'all. I love seeing everybody's faces out there. And most of the time y'all smiling at me, so I like that. You know, no tomatoes have been thrown yet, so we're doing good. Okay, if y'all would please stand for prayer. Our Heavenly Father, I pray that you guide us always. Satisfy the needs that need to be met during this meeting. Strengthen us, Lord, as we make some tough decisions. I pray that we will be like a well-watered garden that will grow over time. I pray, Lord, that we will be fruitful. Father, please guide us so that this meeting can be productive. Let us be effective and decisive. In this precious name of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Amen. Amen. Please keep standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Hey, to Texas.
Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
That's a feedback. It's really, is that me? Did I knock it out of proportion? Okay. Our roll call, I want to thank our council members for being here. Mr. Griffin's not here tonight. Don't know for sure exactly what's happening. He may show up later. I just pray that he's not sick. He's been having some health issues. To my right here is Mr. Prater, Councilman Mr. Bass. To my left at the end is Mr. Wiggins and Mr. Talbert. And then our city administrator is Kent Mettens. And then of course me, Linda Owens. We have Pam Combs back there as our secretary. We have Mrs. McGruer working the computers. I'll get those names one of these days. Working the computers. We have Officer Martinez in the back. We have our chief, Mr. Dorsey. We have our code enforcer, Mr. Arnold. And then we have our water man, Mr. Gene Sprout. And I think that's it that I see. Okay? So thank you again. All right, citizens presentation. The City Council welcomes public comments at this point on items not specifically listed on the agenda. Speakers must sign up before the meeting begins. Do we have anybody signed up? No. Okay, so we'll just pass that. We have nobody speaking. If you decide you want to come in and say something about something that's bothering you or concerns, if it's not on the agenda, you have 5 minutes to talk about it, and we'll listen to you. We can't answer you or ask any questions, or you can't ask us questions, but you can speak your mind for 5 minutes. So we have people do that, so you're welcome to do it at any time during council meeting. Well, you can come up see us anytime. We'll listen. I promise, we'll listen to you. All right, number 3, citizens' request for consideration. Mr. Mejia, right? Council to discuss, consider, and possibly take action on a request by Mr. Mejia to purchase real property owned by the city of Bruceville-Eddy, located at 115 Hungry Hill Road in Eddy, Texas, 76524. Okay.
Danielle, if you would move the slide just one over for me. All right, just a quick staff update on this property. So 115 Hungry Hill Road is the property in question. my discussions with staff right now is that we don't have any known purpose for holding this property. It was originally obtained from a past property owner due to a settlement in back taxes. The lot size is 0.4332 acres. It's zoned single-family residential. The minimum lot size for this zoning code is 0.2 acres and some change. Right now, rules for on-site sewage facilities limit the property's current utility. The state does require half-acre lots for that. There are certain variances that can be established based on like engineering reports or something like that that would, provide a little bit of flexibility there, but it has to be pre-approved. There you go. Very helpful. Thank you, Mayor. Can I steal that from you?
Yes, that's what I brought it up here for.
All right, I may have to use this one.
That's why I brought it.
Very good. Uh-oh.
Oh.
Technical difficulties. Did you press the button on this? Is that what changed it?
No.
Wow, this thing does it all. It's just like the movie Click.
What's the matter?
Computers
Well,
and internet.
I saw most of it.
Can I say something?
Yes, sir.
While we're waiting for this, I have a question. It's not an objection or anything, but doesn't the city have to sell this lot by auction? Can they just sell it outright? I thought that we had to do an auction on
That may be the case on that one. So my recommendation on this one, you'll see here towards the end.
it. Oh, okay. I mean,
so-
I'm
so
all
we
for
do-
selling it. Don't take me wrong.
So we'll definitely, we want to hear the property
Yeah.
owner's
Yeah.
side of this one, and then if y'all want to proceed with that, I'm open to doing the research and making sure we get all our ducks in the row on our side.
I just thought that was the way you had to do it, but I could be wrong. I've been wrong before.
No.
That may certainly be the case. This is not something that I have a whole lot of experience in, but I'm willing to learn and make sure we do it
I
right.
think we went through this before.
Okay.
Somebody wanted, if that's the one I'm thinking about on Hungry Hill, where we tore the old house down.
Yes, sir. I believe this is one of those.
Somebody else wanted it, but we had to sell it by auction,
But it never went.
so it never was sold. Yeah.
Okay. All right, a little bit more on this property right now. So just a note on that on-site sewage facility. Right now, there are those requirements for the half-acre lot. This will no longer be the case once the sewer's in place. We can go to our minimum lot sizes per our zoning code. The land is currently tax exempt. The sale of this land would generate additional property tax revenue. However, on the flip side, if we were to delay this sale until the sewer is established, sell this, then potentially there could be a potential for improved value if somebody were wanting to build on that one. So just full disclosure. My recommendation on that one is to approve, research the market value of the property, any legal requirements, bring that back to council for consideration in executive session.
Okay. So at this time, I'm going to see if the family would like to speak. I think Josh, you want to speak for your dad, and then we'll answer some questions up here for you.
Hi, my name is Joshua Mejia. Our family, I moved out here to Texas in Temple about 3 years ago. I felt God led me out here. I was an associate pastor at my previous church in California. Things aren't going too well out there, especially for God's people. But I finally got my father to move out here, and we found the home on 113 Hungry Hill Road for him, and we closed around the 1st of October, around there. And we noticed after looking at the survey of the property that Bruceville-Eddy owned that section of the property. And we wanted to see, first of all, about purchasing it, not because we're land hungry or anything, but we would like to build a carport in that area. There is the most level and higher ground of the area. It won't cover the whole property, just part of it. Secondly, we'd like to square out our property line. It's kind of weird how it's kind of chunked out there. And from your information, Mr. Manton, about why it was sold to you or given to you as a settlement. And we wish to maintain the safety in our community by ensuring this land is well maintained and safe from fire. we realized just recently in the last storm, a tree broke down there. And that's the kind of stuff we'd like to maintain on the property. And we wish to maintain peace in our community. If the property ends up getting purchased by some rowdy people, we really don't want to live near that. And we also want to be an asset to your community. It's good to meet you all. I met mechanic over here. Sorry, your name slips me, but
Brandon.
More. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we want to be an asset here to your community and want to make sure we're giving back.
Okay, all right. Mr. Talbert has a question.
Yes.
I think I know, but I'm not positive. Can you tell me exactly where the land is when you go start up Hungry and you make that corner? Is it a big vacant
May I
property
step
that's back
forward?
there? Sir?
May I step forward and show you the survey?
Sure.
If you
Yes,
don't
sir.
have a copy of
Well, I
yourself?
looked at it, but I can't
Okay.
tell exactly where it is.
Okay,
You
so.
can step up here and show
Yeah.
us.
I have that copy here as well, but
So you don't need to.
Well, you can
you
explain
can
it.
still do it.
Yeah, still explain
So
it.
when you're coming down Hungry Hill Road from the feed store's over here, so you come down Hungry Hill Road, we're the second house in, and this
On
is
the
the
left.
post, yes.
Okay, there's a big vacant lot back here. Is that
No,
it?
no, it's this one here, it says City of Bruceville-Eddy, it's kinda small to read on this paper here, on my computer I can blow it up, but, yeah, this section here is owned by
Well,
Bruceville.
I didn't know that, but this big lot back here when the city bought the water system, Rick Cass had it, and there's a big valve back in there. I've been back in there several times, and the tractor do some things over here, that's all. That's the only reason I'm asking.
Yeah, well, we were told that that we own this whole section here from these
There's
solid.
a great big tree sitting right back here in the middle.
Yeah.
You see that?
There is a big tree there,
Yeah, and there's a valve in there for the water.
Okay, I didn't know that. We were cutting grass and we haven't gotten to that point yet.
So that's all I want to know.
Okay.
So I know
And
what I'm
for-
talking about.
Yeah.
Okay, whereabouts is y'all's house?
It's this house.
This
here
is
on the
y'all's
bottom.
house.
It's that
Your
brick
house is right here,
Yes,
and the little section of land you want is this?
yes.
You got
It's
this brick
right
house there
that
on
corner.
the left?
Yeah,
This
it
is
has a
what they
brick
want.
There
wall.
was an
Okay.
elderly lady that lived there a good while back.
Miss-
Who?
Harold?
I think it's in Cohen.
Yeah, I had talked to her several times. I
Owen?
thought that's where it was.
Cohen. Oh, Mr. Cohen? Cohen or Cohen?
Property tax information is at Cohen.
That house that was there got torn down, used to be Miss Carol. She lived across from when Mr. Martin lived across the street. She lived right across
Okay.
there.
All
Yeah,
right,
but there's a
gotcha.
brick house there now.
Yeah.
And that was the other lady.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right, all right.
I have a question.
Okay,
Yes.
Mr. Prater?
There's I went by there and looked at it, there's a barbed wire fence that comes up there to the right of it. Is that,
There's no barbed wire fence. I
or,
know there's
field
a
fencing?
there's field fencing that
Yes.
sections off part of the property.
Yeah, it actually looked like it was on the property, that you're trying to,
That's the other side of the house.
It actually comes up to, there's like a tree line that goes clear around to the railroad tracks.
okay.
And that outlines our property, and then the tree line actually hits the top corner of this plot owned by
Okay, I
Bruceville-Eddy.
got you.
So from that tree line down to the street is where our property ends.
Okay, I got it.
But just between 117 and our 113 is 1115, is what they call it.
I got you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anything else, sir?
I mean, you guys have to make a decision on whether or not you want to sell it or not, or if it has to go through auction.
That's what we gotta check
And-
on, yes, sir. We just kinda wanted to put it on the agenda and hear y'all's part. What y'all wanting to do is like build a carport there, is that correct?
I'm part of the
I'm
land,
part
but
of
then
it.
also take care of the rest.
Yeah, and, for your house that's already there.
Yes.
For y'all's home. And then buy that section next to it and build part of a carport and whatever else y'all want to build with it.
And we spoke with our realtor, and he suggested that we offer 5,000, if that's not presumptuous to offer. It may be a low
It's
ball.
less than a half an acre, isn't it?
Yes.
Mr.
0.44.
Wiggins, didn't you look it up?
Yes,
Yes, Mr. Wiggins.
okay, I did look up that property on Clinton County Appraisal District. And this value, the market value is $19,720 for that property.
Was that with the home that used to be on it? Because there's no longer a
No,
home?
for the city of Bruceville-Eddy, that
Okay.
.4332 acres.
That would be the value?
That's what it's valued for us, the city who owns
Okay.
it at.
So we would have to make an offer at or above?
Well, I mean, I think that's something that the whole council will have to weigh in on, but,
Okay.
I mean, to me, if it's valued that much, I don't think 5,000 would be enough, but that's just my opinion. So
Understood.
I think the whole council would have to discuss that later, but I think the main issue looks to me like might be that, whether we need to have an auction or not.
An auction,
And
yeah.
we'll
We'll have to
that'll
check.
get us into some kind of legal trouble if we don't,
Yeah.
check it out.
Yeah.
Understood.
So that's kind of gonna be
Yeah.
my recommendation.
So,
Okay.
on-
We appreciate you moving it.
Yes, sir.
yes, we do.
Yes.
So
Thank you for
on the
inviting us in.
recommendation right now from Councilman Wiggins, what we're going to do is check, Mr. Benton will be checking to see if we have to auction it off, or if we can just sell it outright. If it has to be auctioned off, and then if there's people interested in it, it depends on what the auction, I guess, goes for, or do they go by how do they go by, the value or what they can get for it?
Well, they're good, you know, if you can get something.
They get for what they
market
can get
value,
for.
That's pretty good. But, I mean, I'll go ahead and make a motion in form of a motion. I think we
Okay.
need to make a motion.
Yes, sir,
about it.
I do.
If you're, I mean, if you're through with your discussion. I'll
I'm
wait.
through with my discussion, yes.
Right, Mr.
Okay,
Unless-
then I'll make a motion. I'm
Uh,
sorry, go ahead.
Not sure if my father has a question.
Yes, yes.
So, do I need to wait to hear for the decision later, or can you make a decision tonight?
I think we're gonna have to wait for a decision.
We have
so-
to research.
Till we can
just,
check on it.
just because of legal purposes, we wanna make sure, you know, if we were to say, yes, we'll sell you that property, and we agree upon a price, and then for some reason we found out that we legally can't do that, we have to hold an auction on it because of the way we obtained it, then we could be in trouble.
Yeah.
So we don't wanna put ourselves in trouble and then have you in the middle of that.
Yeah, but we will be checking on it soon, so it's not that you're gonna have to wait for months and months before we find out.
I respect that.
Before we get
Like
through.
my son said, that is the higher ground, the other side of my house is too low. And all the water that run off from the upper run is gonna go to the carport. And
Yes.
I know the trees that we have at the house, because of it, they drop a lot of, sap, I mean. And that's a problem for the, I don't wanna cut the trees, so that's why I would like to have a side there.
Yes, sir. I mean, it's nothing against you having a property on it. I mean, it's nothing against you personally owning that property. It's just a matter of legality.
I understand, and I
Yes.
appreciate that. Again, I'm trying to be clear on anything like that, but, I will wait, and then we can talk about the price, you know.
Yes, sir.
Okay. And then if it goes to auction, then, it'll be discussed, and then they'll wanna know what we were wanting for it. And if it gets to that price and nobody gives it, then it'll keep going until somebody bids on it.
Be the highest bidder.
Yeah.
Then you put a
Then
floor.
you'll have, if it goes auction,
you
you'll
put a
have
floor
an
in.
opportunity at the auction
To get it cheaper,
purchase.
yeah.
They should
Okay,
put-
I'll make a motion, that we have, city administrator, Mr. Matton, check on the legality of us selling this property, how we need to go about it, if we need to do an auction or not, and then check on the, double check the price on it.
Okay, did you have a question first?
Well,
Mr.
I just wanted to say one thing. I mean, I'm all for selling it to y'all, of course. But I think, if I'm not mistaken, it's a state law that a city cannot sell anything, whether it's a land or an old pickup or tractor, unless they have an auction. They can't just say, well, I'm gonna sell you this pickup for $10. Don't say nothing to nobody about it. You can't do stuff like
It's
that.
the public's money.
Yeah.
Yeah, it belongs to the city.
I mean, that's the reason we're asking for an auction. We're not doing it because of you, it's because we have
If
to.
anybody that asks would have to go on it.
Yeah.
Anybody that wanted to buy it.
Mhm.
Okay, do I have a second?
Yeah. you
Okay,
did.
Mr. Talbert? Okay, all in favor? 4 people, unanimous, okay? All right, number 4, approval of minutes. Council to discuss, consider, and possibly take action to approve the minutes from September the 22nd of 2022, regularly called council meeting. Okay,
Oh, he's got a question.
Mr. Wiggins, yes, sir.
I'll make a motion that we approve the minutes of the September 22nd, 2022 council meeting.
Okay,
Second.
second,
Yes.
okay, and Bass seconds. Okay, police chief's report. Chief Dorsey?
You
Oh,
got a vote?
oh, wait, got a vote.
Oh, yeah.
All in favor? Unanimous.
She got unanimous right though.
Yeah,
Slipped by
I'm
me,
getting it.
too.
And you,
Yeah.
uh-huh, see,
You getting there?
I'm getting
Yeah.
there. Yeah, yeah.
Proud
Okay.
of you.
All right, chief, it's all yours.
Oh, Lordy.
Good evening, Mayor,
Good evening.
Council, citizens. Good to see everyone. Got a few things to share with y'all tonight. First off, I asked Mr. Manton to distribute my yearly evaluations to the mayor and the council members. I'll just read what I wrote. I respectfully ask that the mayor and each council member complete an evaluation related to my performance as chief of police. Once the evaluation is completed, I'll be happy to meet with each of you individually or collectively to discuss the evaluation. I present this evaluation to you as a tool and conversation piece to help me be the best chief that I can be. I know last year, once the evaluations were completed, I believe it was Mr. Wiggins, Councilman Wiggins and Councilman Griffin met with me to get the complete evaluations back to me and for me to review them. I'm open to that again, meeting with 2 council members, whoever y'all would like to elect. We could also hold an executive session at our next council meeting, or I'm good with the evaluations going to the mayor and Mr. Manton once they're completed, and then they can meet with me at a designated time to review those. So whatever y'all think is best is I'll go along with.
Thank you, sir.
So you hadn't failed so far.
So I do take these to, I do think these are important, whether I'm doing something good or need to improve, I definitely would like to know about it so I can, be the best I can be for everybody.
Okay, all right. Well, we have it here. So we will, does anybody have any discussion about this?
No, I don't.
Okay,
We did it last year, so I think it.
yeah, we'll get you. I got you.
The only thing I would say, do we need to kind of set a date to have them in by?
Yes, sir.
And who to turn them in to?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Y'all have
Do
anything?
y'all have a date in mind? Anyone has a date in mind when they'd like to do this? Have this in, when we need the evaluations
I'd
in?
say as soon as possible, at least before the next council meeting.
Oh, yes, definitely.
So, doesn't matter to me.
Okay, probably about maybe the first week of November, say, Friday the 5th, probably. Is it the 5th, Friday the 5th?
No, Friday the 4th.
Friday the 4th?
Oh, man. you get
Y'all want
them-
it in by then? Or y'all want it later?
Hold on. You get them deer season.
Well, you can turn it in before that day.
You can turn it in before then.
You turn it in anytime. It won't take long.
And we can have it turned in,
It don't
And
matter,
that's,
I
of
like
course, next
Chris
week.
Thomas said, I
That's
turn
next
mine
week.
in.
Anytime.
yeah, you can turn it in anytime.
Yeah.
But
Y'all
we
just set
have
the
to
date.
have it in by the 4th.
Okay.
We'll say by the 4th,
I'll make a
Alright.
motion if we need it.
okay?
All right.
We're gonna make he's gonna make a motion that the, police chief's evaluation be turned in
To
By-
the mayor or
to-
to myself?
Well,
or-
we'll both, I guess.
To either or?
Either or,
higher, neither
mhm.
lower.
And, by the 4th of November,
Is
of the
Mr.
closing
Bass
day at
making
5
that
o'clock.
motion, or
I am.
He,
You are,
uh-huh,
okay.
by 5 o'clock of that workday,
Need a second,
About
though.
5 o'clock on the fourth.
that workday, yes,
Turn it in to either the mayor or Mr. Mann.
yes.
Okay.
Okay,
How would y'all like to review them?
Need a second.
did, okay.
Oh, I'll second that.
Okay, Wiggins seconds it, okay.
All in favor?
Now, okay, all in favor?
Could be a discussion.
Okay, we have unanimous on that. Now, for discussion,
Well,
what about, when are we
I thought we
wanting to
could.
talk to him about it? When do we wanna set this up for him to come in and meet with us?
If you're okay with the mayor, I'm okay setting that up, outside of the meeting,
Okay,
so we can set that up internally,
yeah, okay,
Yeah.
as long
Sounds
as it
good.
all turns in.
Sounds good.
Yes.
I think just let y'all set it up.
okay, sounds like a winner. We got that. Okay, what else, Chief?
All right. Next is officer promotion. I have Officer Martinez here tonight. He's been with our department since February of 2020. Since that time, I believe he's done a good job to our city, and as well as our citizens. I'm definitely happy to have him, and I definitely want to keep him around as long as I can. But since Martinez has been with us, I mean, he's been an integral part to when we hire new officers. He's on my board, my review board, and helps me whenever it comes time to hire new officers. He's also involved in the training, the field training of new officers. He's pretty much my go-to guy for training. And then he was also a big part in helping me set up and get the school resource officer program going. So I definitely feel like he's deserving of this position and have someone that I can pass the torch over to if I'm not here or I'm attending training. Having someone to help supervise the department, make sure things are running smooth. So I definitely trust that he can do that for us.
I agree.
So,
Very good.
have you come up? So I'll go ahead and I do have a badge for patrol sergeant, so we'll get that pinned on him.
Take a picture with the mayor.
Yeah, I want a picture with Martinez.
By the flag.
It's the only name you remember is
I
Martin.
know, I remember Martinez.
What about the rest of them?
Well, get it well. That'd be all right.
Yeah. He one more important than none. Look on Facebook.
Yeah.
Jesus. I'm glad that you don't want to let you pin something on me.
At least I didn't stick him.
Yes.
I'll give him a round of applause.
Chief, we about
Okay.
get over there too. With Eddie Gazette.
Good job, Martin. Good job, Martin.
All right. I'd also like to take a moment to recognize Officer Javario Savannah. He informed me he couldn't be here tonight, but I still want to recognize him, and
Yes, sir.
I did get him an award made. I just wanted to recognize that he did perform some life-saving actions, so this is a life-saving award, and it reads, in recognition of your life-saving actions on September 25th, 2022, while assisting the Troy Police Department on a vehicle pursuit, your quick actions and proper application of training and equipment led to the successful deployment of medical aid and ultimately saved a person's life.
Amen.
Amen.
So,
I just want y'all to know, our officers are very trained. I mean, they do their job. Let me tell you, they do their job. I'm very proud of every one of them.
and
Every one of them.
a lot of times, you know, we're the officer, the fireman, the EMS, the lawyer, the doctor, so, but he definitely went above and beyond in the situation he was involved in and definitely held things together until EMS personnel could get there.
Yes, sir.
Good deal.
Yes, sir. Mr. Wiggins?
Just backing up just a minute on your reports that you give us,
Yes, sir.
on all of your reports. I thought that was excellent job on those reports. I like that where you broke it down and it shows that you know, that y'all are everywhere.
Yes, sir.
It shows that. I mean, if you look at the citations and warnings and the locations of them, it shows that y'all are all
Front
over
and back.
the place. And I think it's good for the citizens to see,
Right.
where they can physically see that y'all are all over the place.
Yes, sir.
And the type of, situation that y'all run into.
Yep.
on a day-to-day
Yes, sir.
basis. So
Yeah.
thank you for that.
Yes.
Mr. Mayor,
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Mr. Totter?
Oh.
can I say one thing in addition to him?
Sure.
All of these reports, is on the website. Anybody can look it up.
Right.
You see every one of them.
And I would like to thank Mr. Wiggins, because he kind of got the ball rolling and got me to thinking how I could better my reports and include more detail. So he definitely was part of that conversation. And so I should have started this or found this way, you know, earlier on, but from now on, that's how the report's going to look. Because I definitely believe in being transparent and putting as much out as I can. So with that being said, I will go over my reports for September of 2022. Our calls for service were 116. Reports that included arrest, offense, incident were 8. Total of 2 crash reports. Citations and warnings, 113, and that breaks down to 57 citations and 56 warnings. I also include the SRO, the school resource officer, his report for September. He had 2 calls for service. He conducted 71 security checks, and that security checks of buildings, exterior doors, you know, walkthroughs, stuff like that. He issued 2 citations, 0 warnings. And he did include some comments on September 30th. Officer Basie spent the afternoon speaking with the class in a meet and greet format with Mr. Solano's class. So I know Officer Basie feels the same way, but I definitely like having him in the classroom and interacting with our students as much as possible. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I would like to say something down here where they say citations. They had 57 citations and 56 warnings. Okay, that don't mean, you know, 100 and, I mean, there was all service calls, but some of those warnings, the 56 warnings, was probably within those citations too. If they got a ticket for something and they've seen they had something that need a warning on, hey, you need to get that tail light fixed, or hey, you need to get that tag light on, that might have went in with that citation that for one stop. Is that not correct?
Right. A lot of times when we make contact with somebody, you know, we may pull them over for, you know, defective equipment or a minor traffic infraction, and then, you know, during our contact, we may find out they don't have insurance or they have a suspended license, and, you know, we may issue a citation for that violation, but as far as the minor violation, we can give a warning on.
So it
And
could
so
be on the same call.
a lot of times there may be a citation and 2 warnings, or 2 citations and a warning, or it just kind of varies.
Yes,
But
sir. Okay.
a lot of times we do, if we issue a citation, there may be a warning along with that as well.
Okay.
But that's also to document what the violation was that we made the stop on.
Yes, sir.
I have a question.
Mr. Prater?
I just need, I don't know what it means. I don't know nothing about policing, but It says, there's a lot of them on here exceeds prima facie limit at time and place for that type of vehicle. I don't know what that means.
That's just speeding.
Just,
That's how the charge reads in our computer system. So it's basically just fancy for speeding.
It's a fancy word for speeding.
okay, well, I seen some of them on there that said speeding, and I just didn't know what the,
Right, they're both the same.
okay. Thank you.
Yes, sir. I also included a call type report. It's several pages long. This report is almost a year to date. It runs from January 1, 2022 to September 30th, 2022. And then for future months, I'll just update the totals. So it'll just stay in a year to date format for that. I also included a page that has broken down by month security checks. So in our computer system, I try to keep everything up to date as far as all our businesses and churches and pretty much any business or organization in our city, we have them on a security checklist. So whenever we do conduct a security check, it's logged and I can go back and see how many checks we're conducting. So I just put each month how many security checks our department is generating. On directed traffic enforcement, what that means is a lot of times when we're patrolling, we're running radar in our cars, so if we're out driving around, no matter if we're moving or not, we can, see what the speed of other vehicles are. But on this directed traffic enforcement, it means like if we're running stationary traffic in a designated area, like on West 3rd or Franklin or wherever, if we're sitting in one spot just focused on that one area, I try to get all the officers to log that and just saying that they're in that area and it, times it out too. So that's what that is, and it's listed, broken down by month. And then school zone enforcement is when we're out in the school zones.
Thank you.
Also included in this report, I broke it down by month of citations and warnings. It lists all the citations and warnings that we issued each month, and then the location. And this report's pretty lengthy, but in the future, just every month, I'll just list our warnings and citations and then the locations. And then lastly, I wanted to revisit the possibility of purchasing one more vehicle. I know last month we talked about purchasing a used vehicle, and I do have I looked at their inventory today and I listed some that I would be interested in, but then I also tried to pursue looking at a new vehicle. I contacted Silsby, where we purchased our 3 new ones that we have now, and I got a reply today, early this afternoon. They do have one vehicle in stock that could be a potential vehicle. I'll get into detail on that in just a moment. But as far as anything else, the order banks for new vehicle purchases for all manufacturers, they said, are closed until next year. So I inquired about a Chevy Tahoe, and he said the order bank for 2024 will be the next time to get a Tahoe. He said he does have Ford Explorers on order, but they will not be here until mid-2023. They did have one vehicle that I did get a quote on from them. It's for a 2022 Dodge Charger all-wheel drive. But the fortunate part for us is that when we got the 3 vehicles that we got them at the right time, because moving forward for future purchases, they've all incurred a increase in price, about 20% roughly. Even on this one, this Charger, they have a markup of $9,995. And that's for all vehicles moving forward. They're going to be about $10,000 more than what we paid for the ones that we have now.
Yeah, and you still gotta
Um,
wait a year and a half at
Even
least.
even though they're in stock, that's what I found.
Right.
They just
This vehicle, this Charger is the only one they have in stock. Everything else you would have to order. But even this one they have in stock, that's a 2022, has that markup on it.
Yes.
The only other downside to this vehicle is, he said he doesn't know if someone ordered the wrong color or if the intended purpose was to be like an undercover car and then they didn't decide not to get it. But this Charger is actually a purple color.
Yeah, I seen that purple.
For the record, Chief, do you mind reading the name of the color for us? just for a
Okay,
little bit
so
of fun.
the color that's stated on this invoice, it says exterior color PCD Hellraisin.
Hellraisin.
Well, what are you gonna do, repaint it?
Well, I just wanted to offer this as, you know, this is the only new vehicle
Only new
choice
one.
that they have but outside of ordering. But if we did get this car, you know, I don't think our city council or citizens would appreciate a metallic
Purple
purple car.
Yeah.
I mean, we could make it work,
You'd
but
have to paint it.
but we would have to, you know, incur an additional
You tell
charge.
them if they want us to buy it, that they paint it before we get it.
It's a police car.
Yeah, okay. Mr. Wiggins, you have a question?
If, what did you say, if you ordered one, how long it'd take? 6 months, and you couldn't order one to the first of the year?
2024, I thought he said.
Well,
For a Tahoe.
for Chevy and Dodge, I believe it's 2024, and then the Explorers, they have some on order. I don't know if they know how many they're going to receive, but they said be mid next year. But then everything else is 2024.
Mid next year on the Fords.
If they're not already ordered for someone else.
Okay.
But I did look at Chicago Motors again. I looked at their inventory about 3:30 this afternoon. There's about 8 vehicles in their current stock that I would say I would be interested in. Some of them are under the 25,000 threshold that we set. A few of them are over that, but that's just due to them being newer vehicles with less miles on them. Because they did have a 2019 Chevy Tahoe four-wheel drive with 27,000 miles on it for $39,900. They had another 2019 Tahoe four-wheel drive with 44,000 miles for $38,795. They had a 2019 Chevy Tahoe four-wheel drive with 43,000 for $38,795. And then they had 5 Explorers, Ford Explorers all-wheel drive, miles ranging all in the mid 60,000 range, and they were all under, the 5 Explorers that I found were all under 20, let's see, 4 of them were under 20,000, and then they have a 2020 Explorer, and it was 28.
Lots of miles.
So,
Okay, Mr. Wiggins?
My main concern was, and I asked you to put this on there, I don't mind saying that. But, and I know we voted to do that, but, you know, I kinda had a change of heart afterwards. And what I mean by that, I mean, because the vehicles we were looking at had about 80,000 miles on them.
mhm.
And we was saying, okay, you spend up to $25,000 on something that's got 80,000, then I'm getting to thinking, I thought, wait a minute, we put about probably 16, 17,000, something like that a year on them. And I thought, well, you know, we're gonna, after a couple of years, we're gonna need to get rid of that thing, it's gonna be wore out. So why wouldn't we take that 25 and, it just seemed to me like it'd make more sense to take that 25 and put it toward a newer one that didn't have all them miles on it.
Mhm. Well, they do. I know because the Tahoes they have in stock right now, I mean, they're really nice vehicles. I didn't see any rust or anything on them. I don't think they were in Chicago. They just have a lot of cars circulate in and out of that dealership. But I mean, they have Tahoes. They have one that has 27,000 miles on it for $39,000. I know that's more than more than what was agreed to last month as far as the price. So I would say, maybe consider that, or, I know this Charger that they have in stock, I mean, I just hate to waste, well, it's not really wasting, but I hate to have to paint it, incur, $7,000 or $8,000 to paint a car. It's,
Right.
we could
Yeah, I
better
agree.
use that money somewhere else.
Okay, Mr. Talbert?
What'd you say, 20-something thousand miles on that Tahoe?
Yes.
A 38 or 9?
It's a
For
2019,
$40,000.
2019 Chevy Tahoe four-wheel drive with 27,721 miles for $39,995.
Okay, just say 40,000, that's not 60.
Right.
And 20-something thousand miles, it just broke in pretty good if it's taken care of.
Yeah, I have a question. Okay, so, only thing about getting a brand new one is my perspective at it, is that are you gonna have enough in your forfeiture money to do all of this and still have money left to buy equipment and stuff that you need for officers' safety
Yes, ma'am.
and stuff? Okay.
Yeah,
I know, I just want citizens to know
Have
all
him
this.
say,
Yeah.
right.
Okay,
I'll have enough, and then I don't want to get ahead of the agenda, but tonight we are voting on putting the rest of the money in an interest-bearing account, and then my plan is to leave that money in that interest-bearing account and then just work with the interest that we get off that. So,
thank you, sir.
Thank you.
you're welcome.
So, on the vehicles, what do y'all want to,
Well, as far as discussion on it, I mean, what if we did this, what if we said 40,000, but don't get, we don't wanna spend 40,000 obviously for something that has
High mileage.
70,000 miles on it.
No.
Have something that's got lower mileage
yeah,
on it, maybe a maximum of so many miles, what do y'all think?
yeah, like that one right there. The 2019 Chevy Tahoe four-wheel drive,
Something like
stock
that,
number,
yes, ma'am.
27,721 miles for $40,000.
Yes, ma'am, like something like that, what do y'all
I think $15,000 more, besides what we told last council meeting, we gave 25, this be 15 more.
Right.
I think that is perfect. Okay,
You think that'd be money better spent?
I think so too. I think so, sir.
And Mrs. Mayor, I'd just say, on this, any recommendation you make, if you would, just give us a little bit of flexibility, maybe $5,000
Yeah, say
leeway.
40, 45.
And if y'all want to put a cap on the mileage, feel free to do that. I think we can definitely work with that, right, Chief?
Yeah,
Yes, sir. And I did want real briefly, on this Charger, the one that they have, the purple one, the base price plus the increase just for the car is $41,964. And then
41,000.
you'd have to add the paint job on that, and then you'd have to add roughly between 10 and 15 for an upfit of
Are
equipment.
them
So
sport wheels on that car?
Yeah.
that's not the exact car they have, but it's the same color.
Oh,
Okay, Mr. Talbert, you have a question?
Move this flag, I can't see.
I know you do your due diligence, so don't take offense with what I'm asking, then I got something else to say. I assume you've checked these people out very well, as far as their reputation, Chicago Motors.
Yes, sir.
But we don't know where the vehicles come from, which you said you look at now. I guess the question I have is, if we buy it, and you're not satisfied, what are they gonna do? In other words, will they guarantee for 30 days, or if you get it here and you don't like it, the other question is, would you rather look at it eyeball to eyeball? First hand before you buy it. Wait a minute. That's the reason I asked you the two questions.
Yes, sir.
You can answer the first one first, and then the second one second.
I feel pretty
That's important.
Yes, sir. Honestly, I feel confident if we made the purchase, I think we'll be happy with it. And with the car with 27,000 miles on it, I think if we were to get it,
I understand that, but
it'd
that's
be in
not
good-
my question. Was it?
no, sir.
What is it?
I've said it. If you check them out, they're reputable, and if you buy it, or we buy it, the city buys it, and you get it, and you don't like it, what will they do?
Do they guarantee it for any time at all?
I'll check on
In
that.
other words, you just get it here and it's, you look at it and your parents, and it's not what you think, and you get your money back. If not, then would you be rather satisfied to go up there and look at it? That's cheap money to fly up there and look at it. Instead of, wait a minute, instead of coming down here and getting it, and he ain't satisfied and he won't give you your money back.
Yes,
That's
sir.
people's money.
Right, yes, sir.
It's my money.
I'll check on what they would do if we weren't happy with it once we got it. I'm not sure if they have any kind of,
I got a question.
you know,
It doesn't hurt to ask.
but I will look into that.
It doesn't hurt to ask.
And then
I
as
got a
far as going up there in person, I mean, that's something I'm willing to do if needed.
$300 airfare is nothing.
Well,
I don't feel like, I mean, it's not something that I feel like I need to do, but I'd be willing
Okay.
to do it if needed.
I just kicked it out there.
Mr. Prater?
what year model is that?
19.
Have you seen any 19s before? Have you seen this car before anywhere else?
We have two 17 Tahoes, so it's the same body style.
Same body style, you like that? You like that body style?
I like the way they look. Yes,
All
sir.
right, there you go.
Okay, all right. Well,
And-
I think that okay, Mr. Wiggins?
And what's the warranty on them? Do they come with a warranty? Do you know?
On this particular car, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. It would probably have a remaining, due to the year and mileage, it would probably have some kind of factory warranty left on it.
I would say we need to check on the warranty, but I mean, I don't have no problem going up. I'll wait for Mr. Talker to finish.
Yeah, Mr. Tauber? Okay, Mr. Wiggins, go ahead.
I would say that we could, go up to maybe Ken asked to give a little leeway, so if we went to 45 and say maybe 28,000 miles or something,
Yeah,
minimum.
we could make a motion on the contingency that he checks on all of that.
And yes, and checking on the, I'll make the motion. I mean,
Okay.
And just see where it goes.
Okay, let's
And
go
if we
for it.
need to amend it, we can amend it.
All right,
Okay, I'll make a motion that we go to 45,000 on the limit on purchasing a vehicle, and with a limitation of 28,000 miles on it. And also, we need to find out what kind of warranty we will get with the vehicle.
So,
And if for some reason too, if we do buy it from this Chicago Motors, and if we get it and it's not as it appeared to be when we bought it,
Right.
then we can, get our money back.
Yes, sir.
Second.
okay, and Tauber second.
so before we have any further discussion, just a couple comments from me on that one. These are the vehicles that are currently on the inventory for Chicago Motors. If you bump up those miles just a little bit, that would give us a little bit more flexibility if this model that's currently up, we're not able to grab in the next couple days, because it's going to take us a couple days to get this going. And then also, if y'all would like to amend this, of course you have to make a vote on this one because there's been a second one, but if you'd like to go back and amend this one, then we could definitely look at maybe making this contingent upon getting a 15-day warranty or 30-day warranty or something like that.
We just need to find out what they offer.
We have a question in the audience.
They'll offer.
Now, are these vehicles are gonna replace current vehicles that we have?
Okay, what this vehicle, well, you probably, from what I understand, this vehicle, right now, they have a vehicle for all their officers. This vehicle would be a second vehicle in case one of their vehicles messed up, that officer wouldn't have to be without a vehicle. It's gonna be like a spare. It's gonna be like a spare vehicle, is that correct? Is that correct, Chief?
Well, that was a thought. My other thought is we do have our oldest vehicle in our fleet's a 2014 Chevy Tahoe that is roughly 104,000 miles. So my other alternative would be to park that one use it as the spare,
Yeah.
since it already has a little over 100,000 miles on it.
Right.
That way we can keep that vehicle for longer.
Good thinking.
And then put, once we get this vehicle outfitted, then we'll put it on the road.
Okay,
That's a good
Uh,
idea.
I think that would be better suited for the situation.
okay. Thank you for clearing that up.
Yeah, that's good.
So what type of mileage do y'all
Should
think?
we-
I
30?
mean, it sounded like you wanted to increase it. Would you say 30,
30?
32?
30.
What do you think, Chief?
What do you think,
If
Richard?
we can, up to 45,000, what mileage, up to what mileage?
I'd say up to 30.
30?
I'd cap it at 30.
Let's say 30,000.
I'm
What-
happy with 30.
What do you think, Richard?
I'm happy with
30.
30. I wouldn't wanna go over that if we're gonna
No.
spend that amount of money.
No, okay.
All right, so,
Okay, I'll
okay.
amend my motion to, the same amount, 45,000, and up to 30,000 miles maximum. And also with a contingency that, it come with a, what would you say, take back?
or it-
For how long did you say?
Well, they just need to
You thought
find out what their warranty
Mr. Mayor?
is.
he said about,
I would say 30 days seems to be the industry standard on that one, but I guess it could be a little bit lower for vehicle purchases. I'm
Up
not
to
really
30
sure.
days
yeah, up to
Sure.
30 days.
Okay.
for a take back.
Warranty. Okay, and anybody second? You wanna second it still, Mr. Tauber?
Yeah.
Okay. Wiggins?
Looks like we do have a question out there.
Okay, oh, yes, Miss Wiggins.
Are these vehicles from Chicago Motors, are they previous police vehicles, or are they general
Yes.
public
My,
vehicles?
my understanding, all the vehicles they get are police trade-ins from other law enforcement agencies.
And each vehicle does come with a Carfax, so we can see this, this company just kind of specializes in collecting these used vehicles from around the country and selling them to law enforcement agencies.
Yes.
Right.
Can we put it in can we put it in that any Carfax, where it's been in a wreck, that we don't want it?
Yeah. they can-
Yes,
Yeah.
I'll further amend my motion. Well, that's okay.
No, you go for it.
Philadelphia lawyer here.
Hey, let's go for it.
Well, that's good, Richard. I'll further amend my motion to include what Richard was talking about, to make sure the Carfax, and if it's been wrecked or whatever,
Total,
then we
yeah.
don't consider it.
Because you don't want to salvage it.
Is that
Pam?
what you was talking about,
Yes, sir.
Richard? I think that's a great idea.
All right. we
Pam,
have
you
a
got all
sec-
that one?
Good.
Yeah, we have a motion and a second. Okay, all in favor?
Good flavor.
And unanimous. All right.
Hey, can
I
Thank
do,
you,
I
Chief.
do want to
Hey,
quickly,
wow.
And this should supersede the other.
Yes.
That's correct.
Yes.
Earlier, Mr. Talbert said it was the people's money. I just want to make it clear that it's forfeiture.
This is forfeiture money.
This is forfeiture
Yes, sir.
money.
Yes,
But
sir.
it's
It,
still,
it belonged to somebody at one time.
Right, right.
it's
I,
still-
I was
citizens.
I was about to
it
re-mention
still
that.
belongs to the people because it's in the city funds.
No, he understands that.
I know.
He's
This
just
ain't
trying to make-
taxpaying
It's
money.
okay. All right, you made
I was going to reiterate
It's
that,
both.
Okay.
this purchase would be made out of asset forfeiture
Asset
funds.
forfeiture.
So money that the department has received
Yes, sir.
from basically drug money that we're using, we're turning something that was intended for bad into something good to benefit our
Yeah,
department.
That's what I tell everybody. They said, well,
So-
how's he buying vehicles? I said, with drug money.
Pretty much.
You know,
Thank
so,
you.
all right. Thank you, Chief.
Chief.
Anything else?
Real quick, I wanted to mention some things I'm working on for next month. Some other cities, some of our neighbors, including Lorena, have local city ordinances on sex offenders. Because, we do have a share of sex offenders in our city. I'm responsible for doing all their registrations. I make sure everybody stays compliant and follows the rules. The state, Texas law, what's on the books already, there are rules and regulations and laws they have to follow, and that's across the board for everybody. Some of the offenders may still be on probation or parole, and that just gives them a whole nother set of rules they have to follow. Because not only do they have to be compliant with Texas law, they also have to be compliant with their probation or parole requirements. But then there's cities, we have a lot of neighbors that have local ordinances that even take that a step further to lay out some rules and regulations. So I'm gonna be looking at what those are and see if any of those can benefit our city. And if so, then I'm gonna be working on making an ordinance to present to y'all to approve.
Sounds good.
All right.
One other thing, I've been in communication with Mr. Kilgore, the superintendent. The school, Bruceville-Eddy ISD, they have their own fuel tanks. They have a 1,000-gallon gasoline tank that they use to fill their vehicles, and they have a 10,000-gallon diesel tank that they use. And I've been speaking to them and asking them if we could partner up with them and use their fuel for our vehicles. I think that I don't think we can use their gasoline because they have 1,000 gallons. I don't think we could use that on every time we need to fill up, but maybe on like an emergency basis. But they agreed with me on their diesel. You know, speaking to Gene, he said they had 2 diesel trucks and then the backhoe that are diesel. So I don't think there'd be a problem with that. So I'm gonna get with them, see what they could offer us to use for the city. But then I got to speaking with Pam and Esther about this as well, and then I brought up, well, it'd be good to do something and benefit our fire department, to be able to have a local place for them to fill up, because I think they have their own storage, or they fill up cans and bring them back, because I don't see them driving the engines to the gas stations. But anyways, I'm going to explore getting our own storage, getting an above ground storage for gas and diesel, that the city can have their own fuel resource that we can rely on, whether it just be for an emergency situations. Because, you know, even if we had our own gas station in the city, what if they run out? You know, what are we going to do? You know, like during the freeze storm, you know, during the freeze earlier this year, you know, we had to go shop around at different gas stations because people were running out.
Yeah.
So it would be nice for the city to have our own, you know, that we can rely on and depend on and know that we have fuel when we need it. So I was going to explore cost, you know, to get our own storage tanks. And, you know, I would definitely help. You know, I could utilize some funds that we have to help pay for that also.
Okay.
So-
I have 2 questions from the council, Mr. Wiggins and
Well,
Mr.
for
Bass.
one, you know, I know this is in your report, but this isn't on the agenda. So I don't think we can take any formal action
Right.
about it, but I think it's a great idea.
I just wanted to offer that up just as information as what I'm going to be working on
Just
for next
plant that
month.
seed.
I think it'd be a good idea. I think it'd be a great idea for you and the city administrator to work together.
Check that out.
Yes, sir.
On this, because it doesn't involve just the police, it involves city stuff.
Yes, sir.
Too, so I would like for y'all to get together, but we can't take no formal action.
Right.
because
Yes,
it's
sir.
not on the agenda.
Councilman Bass?
The city has done this before. You remember Chief Bill McLean?
Yes, sir.
He looked into getting tanks for the city and for, you know, police and possibly the fire trucks too.
Mhm.
But I don't know what became of it. It was a problem or something. But you might check with Bill and see how far he got and if he had any obstacles or whatever as to why it never was accomplished.
Right. Well, I'm definitely going to check it out and I'll report back. And
All right.
I want to, oh, sorry.
Mr. Talbert, you have a
No,
question?
I just said,
Okay.
I
I
thank
got-
you myself.
I got
Okay.
something
Oh,
to say
Mr.
to him.
Prater?
You know how you put gas in a gasoline can, like a 5-gallon can, and you let it sit for 6 months,
Yes, sir.
then you got crap gas?
Right.
That's what you're gonna end up putting in your vehicles. And the cost don't outweigh the benefit.
But if it's a 1,000-gallon tank or something like the school has,
Well, the school
you
uses it all the time. If you plan on just using it for your police cars when you need it, it's different if you're using it all the time, then it's circulating through.
yeah. that's what I'm
They're probably going through their gas a
The
lot.
school did say that, and we would fall under the same, because they get their fuel, I don't know who their supplier is, who comes out and fills their tanks, but they get a government rate because they're a governmental entity, and that would be for us as well. And they're paying I think 50 or 60 cents less than what the going rate for gas is. So, I mean, if we could save money by supplying our own fuel, then I would opt to use it on a regular basis.
Why do you think it's cheaper?
If-
Because
Sir?
it's tax exempt, that's why.
Right,
You go
Right.
to the pump, you pay it, you're paying the tax.
Right.
That's part of the reason.
Mr. Prater, was that the end of your question?
Well, it's just, if you're gonna get it, you'd probably need to use it. I think it'd be cheaper to use it
right.
Use-
than let it
just use
sit there. I like the ideal, but you'd be better off just having them come fill it all the time. We'd save at the pump.
Right.
And-
I think if we can get a tank big enough to fuel all our vehicles, like get what we need, and then that way we can deplete it to where they just have to refill it and we don't have to worry about getting junk in our tanks.
Right.
Okay.
If you're using it all the time.
There's no
it
more
won't.
questions on this, because that's not on the
Right.
agenda.
Oh,
This
yeah,
will be
yeah.
something we'll have to discuss later.
Yes, ma'am.
When we put it on the agenda, but thank you very much, and it's something for you to look into and get with him. Okay?
Thank you all.
Thank you, Chief.
Thanks.
Okay, Public Works, Gene?
Okay. So everybody got a copy of the work orders that we did. This was from the 23rd to the 23rd. So that's when we read the meters, she's gonna start printing them out then.
Yes, sir.
And it says we had like 14 leaks and, you know, what, 15 reinstates from turn-offs, occupant changes, and then there's grass. But then there's some street ones on here. I'm not exactly sure which ones they were. I think it was trimming trees, because we had some from Mackey Ranch and some from Old Moody Road for tree trimming. But patching, we got that culvert changed out on Franklin and Third Street. We got it patched. It's gonna need a little bit more now, being it's settled, because it's sunk in just a little bit. And, you know, once we get a chance, we're gonna go back in there and re-level that out.
Yeah, they did good on it.
Can't make people happy, but we can try.
You've done a really good
All
job.
right, Mr. Bass, you have a question?
Is there any way you could put an extension on that, like a 3 foot on each side?
Well, on one side there is, but in front of the coffee shop, right across from Dollar Store, that ditch isn't deep enough to put an
Oh, okay.
extension on it.
Reason I asked, like a pickup or something pulling a trailer.
Right, and that's why we did go a little bit wider
Yeah,
than what was in there.
but it looks good what y'all did. It
Oh,
really
yeah.
looks good. Did a good job.
That's been a hazard for a long time.
For a long time, and then there was a piece of pipe sticking out of the ground, like old road sign or something, and we cut that off, because we couldn't pull it out with the backhoe. But, another thing, unless y'all got any questions for me, I'll answer some questions, and I got 2 other things I wanna bring up.
Okay,
Yes, sir,
Mr.
Mr.
Wiggins?
No, I just wanna comment you again on these reports, like the service order report.
Uh-huh,
It shows, you know, what streets you patched and trees down and whatnot. And then you have a separate report for this street patching. And that just show us, it shows all citizens out there, they have this same report that they can look at online.
right.
Shows them what y'all are doing and the streets you're doing it at. So
And
thank
on
you
the
for
street
that.
patching, you're probably gonna continue to see previous ones, cause I had Esther set it up on the tablet, so I don't have to come in here and forget about if I forget a work order, this is on that tablet, so.
But that's okay,
And I'm out
because
in
the
the field.
dates are on there.
Right.
The dates are on there, so
Right.
that's okay.
Yep.
Yeah, but thank you for that.
Mhm.
Okay, Mr. Talbert?
That's a huge improvement, because you know how I am with paperwork,
Yep,
don't you? From many, many, many years from now.
Yep.
Here's the thing, what I'm gonna tell you because of this, and he brought it up, and I like that. I can't tell you how many times over 20 years that I've been asked, why I see all our water people driving up and down the damn road all the time. I don't want to see them do nothing. This shows it.
right,
And it's
Well-
it's on the website.
all right.
But sometimes you gotta do that, cause you gotta go look for water leaks, and you gotta go do all kind of things.
Oh, you seen that the last 2 days, so yeah.
Yes,
I mean, we fixed the leak,
3 leaks across from my house.
well, I fixed one on Old Bethany this morning, I
Yeah, I
hated
know.
to. Pulled in the guy's backyard and rutted it up, but there's nothing I could do, I had to get to the leak.
The people all of us, every time we get in the vehicle, we drive up and down the road, look in the ditches. Look for green grass, look for cattails, because it's water, and the more the water is wasted, the more it costs, and the more or less water we have to service the people.
And if the
It's
people,
important.
if the customers would notice it and call us, cause you seen the ones we fixed across from your house yesterday and today,
Yeah.
we couldn't see them from the road.
No, I couldn't either.
See,
It's growing
so-
up in the weeds.
Yeah.
Usually I can, but I couldn't. I could walk, I
And
went up there, I couldn't find
So,
three of them.
Keelan,
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
LeBron, y'all know who he is, the younger guy that works with us? So he's got his D water license now.
Yes.
He just got it, and once he gets comfortable, I'm getting him trained for some of the on-calls on the weekend, then get him working on his C's. Richard, whenever he feels comfortable, then we'll work on his D. Johnny, Johnny Grady, so he's got his basic wastewater, which we can't use right now, but he's got a C just like me, and he just recently got his customer service inspection license, so we don't have to contract with anybody else. We can do them in-house from now on.
Yes.
There you go.
Right.
So that's fixing to start pretty quick. Me and Kent's been working on it with Johnny, and me and Kent has been working on it with Johnny. And, you know, some of these people that should have had one before that didn't get done, we're gonna work with them and go ahead and get them done, because TCQ's gonna come ask for them.
Oh,
So we're gonna knock them out.
Good.
And then
Right.
from now on, there will be a charge, you know, that we need to sit down and discuss, but we'll get that figured out later today.
Sounds like you're on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you very much.
good
We
job.
have a question back
Good,
there.
good job, Daniel. You and all the guys.
Thank you.
What are the levels? Is it like D through A or what?
It's D is non-renewable, then you got a C, B, and an A. We're required, with our size of our city, to have 2 C certified water operators on our system.
Yeah.
And it's me and Johnny, and then we have Rudy part-time. So, I mean, we've got the qualified operator, but 5 years, I'm gonna be gone. So if I can get somebody else in here, then we got another operator.
Okay. Thank you, Gene.
Thank you very much.
Anything else?
No, sir.
Nope.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, number 11, city engineers report. You wanna read that on Johnny?
Sure will. All right.
Oh, you need it up there?
I'm just bringing it up on the screen. Okay, so Mr. Tabor could not be with us tonight.
Again.
But number one on his,
Do that, everyone else has to stay quiet so we can hear it.
I think my mic died.
Oh,
There we go. Okay. Yep, it's dying. Number one on the USDA rule report, new wastewater system, Tabor and Associates Incorporated, is waiting on USDA rule development to issue closing instructions and authorize the project to bid. My side note on that one is, Terry's been out of the office this week. I've been in communication with her the week prior. They're just currently reviewing the records. But hopefully I'll get in contact with her on Monday when she returns. Number two, the hydraulic analysis and system mapping update. So Tabor and Associates has completed the hydraulic and analysis and mapping update and would like to present this report at a special call meeting to allow approximately 2 hours for the presentation. They recommend that the called meeting be coordinated and scheduled after the election so that new elected members can be in the office and present. So we did schedule this to rediscuss this item as a part of our agenda tonight. Number three, Foster Branch Addition, lots 1 through 6, water improvements. This is finally finished. So the work has been completed. We just got to finish the closeout and the payment. That's it.
Anything else? Any questions? Nope. All right, moving on. 12, code enforcement. Mr. Arnold? It's your turn.
Finally, my turn. Thank you, thank you. I put out a report for code enforcement, building inspections, as well as permits. Those are the 3 main departments that I'm taking care of at the moment. So, for code enforcement, I had 103 cases. 99 are still open, closed 5 of them, 19 of them are in court. I put out in the report, I put the different types of cases. I'm not gonna go over every individual one.
no.
just giving you an idea, that's what I'm doing as far as code enforcement goes. Permits and inspections. Now, we had 30 permits, but that is from when I took over to now. So that's actually a couple of months. That's not just 1 month. Just letting you know. 2 new buildings, 2 full remodel, or 10 full remodels, 10 accessory buildings, 3 in-ground pools and 2 fences and 3 roofs. And that was, like I said, that was from when I started back in April to now. Going forward, it'll just be 1 month at a time. We had 2 weeks when the burn ban was lifted. We can only let 4 permits out at a time, and both weeks they were maxed out, so we had 8 burn permits out. When it was lifted, it's currently, we're on a burn ban, so no burn permits are allowed at this particular point in time.
What about barrel?
Ma-
What about barrels? And no barrels?
No barrels.
No, you
yeah.
can't burn nothing.
During a burn ban, you can't burn in anything. I mean, it's a struggle to even use a barbecue pit during a burn ban. So,
But you can't.
On the barbecue pit, you can, because we can't say you cannot burn or cook for cooking.
right. That's why I said it was hard. I didn't say it was impossible, or that you couldn't do it at all. Yes, you can strike up a barbecue pit and cook brisket and ribs, and just call me over, so I can check it out. We'll make sure. But don't let my size fool you, because I can eat my fair share. I promise you.
Does that barbecue pit have to have a lid on it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and the fire department captain and I, just heads up for the council, we are working and looking at our ordinance together, and we're gonna be going over, revamping them, see what we need to do to get a more precise and more layman's term on the burn possibilities.
Yeah.
When you can burn, what you can burn, how you can burn it, definitions on what an open fire is and a closed fire. There's been a lot of discussion this past month about those. So we're going to break it down in layman's terms in the near future.
Great.
Jeff,
I have,
Mr. Wiggins?
just, I want to comment on your report. I really like it, and I can read it. It's big enough, I can read it.
Of course.
Yeah, but I mean, it's good report. You condensed it, and
Yes,
it's
sir.
great.
Yeah.
Thank you for what you've been doing.
it's my pleasure. And last, I didn't, we had 11, now, again, this goes back to when I started back in April, and when I finally took over inspections. 11 inspections from when I started to now. So moving forward, it'll only be for the month.
Thank you,
Okay?
sir. Thank you, Mr.
All right.
Ronald.
Thank you, Jim.
Okay, city administrators report, Kent Netton.
All right, thank you, Mrs. Mayor. Can everybody hear me okay? All right. So first, I just wanted to make a brief comment on the council audio system. We did find the root cause of the video streaming issue. It was an output source code selection error. So on the 13th of October, we did a test. We performed everything, make sure the streaming equipment was working correctly. And then on the 18th, we did another mock meeting just to make sure that that was all working properly. And then of course, on the 19th, we had the candidate form here at City Hall. So that was just kind of another further test, making sure everything was working out pretty good. If you haven't done so already, check out our YouTube page. For those of you who are here in the room, I think you'll be pleasantly surprised by a lot of our upgrades and the end production. We're always open for more feedback on that. Please send it to us. We hope to get better as we keep moving along. The sewer system. So on the 8th of October, all opinions were submitted for the sewer project. USDA is reviewing all the right-of-ways. Terry Chenoweth, our representative over there at USDA, is currently reviewing our documentation, and she should be getting back to us shortly on the instructions for closing that loan. I don't have any other information at this time. Like I was mentioning, we were kind of playing a little bit of phone tag over the last week, and I didn't get to touch base with her before she went on vacation. Hopefully we will get into contact early next week and get the ball rolling some more. On the street side, Public Works crews, I think Gene kind of already wrapped this one up, so I won't go into the weeds on it. But we do have a committee meeting for the street repair, starting on November the 16th at 10 a.m. Got some of our committee members here tonight in the room. We'll be, this committee is predominantly going to be focused on repairs in general, focusing on our budgeted monies, how we can allocate those this year. Later on the agenda tonight, we have what we're going to be calling an infrastructure planning committee, and we do have some opportunities to discuss roads in that committee as well, but that'll kind of be on a bigger, wider scale on long-term planning. Next up, the online payment solution. So council did designate us to move forward with adopting a new payment platform for our online utility, courts, and permits. How does this affect everybody in this room and all of our citizens and customers? It will, first off, lower the cost for paying by credit card. So that's a big win. We've got some other big wins in there as well. User functionality on the website. You can see your bill at the same time that you're paying. Payment credit cards over the phone, in the office. So it'll be a big step up. And then on the staff side for that one, we're looking at some, just more efficiencies. So no longer manual posting the payments. Some exciting stuff for us. I won't go into too much more detail, but I do hope to bring that solution and the vendor before you at either the November or December council. Implementation probably wouldn't take place until January or February. We plan on doing a lot of advertising on our website and maybe even a town hall with our new vendor to kind of get everybody used to this new system. So,
Sounds good.
on this next one, we got our water system. So I just wanted to start off by saying, I apologize. We did have some new information that was presented to us for this hydraulic analysis and system mapping project. Our engineer did complete that on the 19th. Staff members and the mayor, we attended a preview meeting over at Tabor and Associates to get some more of the technical aspects of the report. And while at the last council meeting, we did schedule for the 25th to hear that presentation and to have that discussion, we thought it best, amongst ourselves to kind of wait until after the election because we have one, maybe potentially more council seats open. And that way, everybody who's going to be responsible for making the decisions over the next year, over the next couple of years, as it relates to these monies in our longer-term water system upgrades, they would have all that same information relayed to them at the same time. Okay, the next one there, projects, grants, and loans. Just so you are aware that I'm currently working with engineering firms and consulting groups to kick back up some standard grant funding opportunities, one through community development block grants through the TEA, hopefully to get those to address some of our water line upgrades. They do have some thresholds for income as it relates to the citizens that those projects will affect. And then also working with potentially getting a Texas Water Development Board revolving loan, low interest, maybe even opportunity for some principal forgiveness in there. So I am in talks with a couple different vendors for that, and once we get this committee rolling, I hope to kind of tie in some of those conversations, some of the information I'm getting, and how that can apply to those projects. Next one, solid waste service. Okay, so I'll slow down for this one just a little bit. I know this is one of those fun topics, and everybody's got an opinion because we've had our current vendor for a long time. Over the last 60 days, they have been on what I'll just essentially call a probationary period. We've had them on notice, and we gave them a fair warning as per our agreement that they had to basically have a perfect record over those 60 days. Over the last 60 days, though, that has not been the case. It's not really boding well for them. A lot of the issues, just not being able to collect the trash all on the same day, trucks breaking down, without trying to, take over the council's job here, it's my, general opinion that if we give you notice and say, hey, you need to be on your best behavior, that this is your opportunity to shine and put your best foot forward. So anyways, we're continuing to collect that information. That deadline ends on Friday. So the next steps on that one will probably be a hearing before council with our vendor and with staff presenting the issues that we're having.
Yes.
So that'll give us some opportunity to potentially move forward. Yes. And lastly, We had a tree donation by Mr. Bass's son, Mr. Wes Bass. He graciously donated a new live oak tree to be installed up here at City Hall. Staff, we have staked out a location on the left side of the building over here. And we've also purchased another live oak that'll be going over to kind of mirror it over here on the right side of the building, using our landscaping budget for the year. We do hope to get that installed in about 3 to 4 weeks, I think it was. Let's see here, yeah, 3 to 4 weeks is when they're gonna be coming with that one. And Mr. Bass and the family would like to make a dedication to that. We will be making some more announcements on that through our normal channels just here in a little bit. I did have one more, just wanna let everybody know, the auction for our surplus goods has gone live. The bidding does not actually start until November the 3rd, and it will end on the 17th. You can go to reneebates.com and check those out. You'll have to scroll down a little bit. We're in the under construction section, but hopefully that'll get us some revenue going that we can use for other items.
Okay. Any questions?
I'll say good
Okay.
job to our administrator. He's doing a wonderful job
Yes,
since
he
he's
is.
been here.
Thank you.
Amen.
We've did good picking him out.
Yeah.
Wearing out my welcome already.
All right. Number 14, approval of finances. Council to discuss, consider, and possibly take action on approving September of 2022 financial report for the general and the water fund account. Yes, Mr. Paul.
If no one has a question, I've reviewed them in detail and I don't see anything, I think it's all in order. I'll make a motion to approve that and then item,
Well, I see something.
okay, I said if nobody has a question,
Yeah.
Mr. Wiggins?
I'll let him ask his question.
Okay, and I talked with Esther about this, and I talked with, Mr. Manton about this on the balance sheet comparative year to date.
Yeah.
If you look at that, there's a couple of items that's been on there, approved payroll advance and employee equipment purchases. If you look at that, then you can see that's been carried over from the prior year. So Esther acted like that shouldn't be there, and we need to get with the auditors about that. So I would like to make a comment about that and have them check into that.
Okay.
That's the first time I've ever seen that, that I know of.
Anyway, that's all I had about it. Other than that, I agree with the finances look good.
Looks good. Okay. All right, so,
I second his motion.
you second Mr. Wiggins' motion?
Yeah,
Did
Mr.
you make Mr. Thomas' motion?
That was just on A, right?
That's on
Yes.
A and B.
A and B.
Okay, I did not read B, but it was council discuss, consider, and possibly take action on approving September 2022 accounts payable for the general and water fund accounts. So we had one for the financial and one for the accounts payable,
Mhm.
so, okay, all in favor? Unanimous, okay? All right, 15, approval of amendments of the facial year 2021-2022 annual budget. Council will discuss, consider, and possible take action to approve amendments to the FY 2021-2022 annual budget.
There was a lot of changes on there.
Any discussions, any motions,
Would the city administrator like to
comment on that? sir?
comment on these?
Sure, I most certainly can. Sorry, I didn't prepare anything for this one. So these are amendments that we are making to officially approve all of the changes that council has deemed necessary throughout the year. Some of those are minor things that you'll see on each fund account. Some of those are bigger things, like say Talbert well needed to be repaired, right? Well, that went over our $60,000 allocation for the water fund's maintenance of facilities. I think that's the correct account on that one.
Yes.
But regardless, council approved that one, and so we need to make the official amendment to that for our fiscal year 2021-2022 budget. This is something that the auditor's gonna be looking at next month when they come out, and then if they have to, they can make some further adjustments, to clean everything up.
Mr. Bass?
I move that we approve the, changes to the budget.
To the amendment, okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right,
Or the amendments, yep.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
to approve all the
All of
amendments.
them,
to the
there were quite a
facial
few
year.
of them, but,
Yeah.
it's all balanced out pretty good.
It did all
Okay.
balance
It
out,
all
and then I'll add that comment as well, that we did finish the year with a
Yeah.
surplus
Mhm.
overall on both fronts.
I second the
All right,
motion,
Tom
but I,
seconded.
when we did these things, I said we need to amend the budget, and we never did get it done.
Okay. Okay, all in favor? Unanimous, okay? 16, establishment of IRS asset forfeiture investment account. Council discuss, consider, and possibly take action on the establishment of an IRS asset forfeiture investment account for monies currently residing in the IRS asset forfeiture account.
All right, so Mrs. Mayor, on this one, we do have a significant amount of money in the IRS forfeiture account. The current balance is $324,000. This is the fund that Chief was just talking about, taking and paying for that potential new vehicle with. But setting up a mirror account like we've done with some of the other accounts allows us to transfer a big chunk of this into that investment account, allows other people to use that money. I threw up a little quote here from Albert Einstein for fun. Compound interest is the 8th wonder of the world. You gotta know how to use it. Those who understand it, earn it. Those who don't, pay it. So, just, my recommendation on that one is to roll over $200,000 into the investment account. That gives us some wiggle room for Chief to make his purchases. And then as needed, we can shuffle those funds back from the investment account into the regular account if we need to pay some expenditures. The good news is at these current interest rates, we're gonna be really padding this account up pretty well for some future purchases.
Okay, Mr. Toller, you have a question?
If the council, and even the citizens that looks at the financials, if they looked at it last year and they see the interest that the general fund and then the water is earned, and then they looked at it this month, it's just amazing. But if you borrow money, it's not good. If you invest in it, it's good. So it's just, it's a huge jump to be able to invest the money,
All right,
to be able to use to do things for the citizens in the community.
all right. Mr. Bass? I mean, Mr. Higgins.
Okay.
I was looking at you.
Okay. I wasn't looking.
Mr. Bass, Mr. Wiggins.
I'll make a motion that we, based upon the administrator's advice, is that we move $200,000 from, this account to an interest-bearing account.
Did you say 200?
We just wanna
Yeah,
make
we're
sure
gonna
that
move
that,
up 200,000,
That was his recommendation.
yes, and the motion just does need to include that we're creating a new account.
new account.
Yes, and, yeah, creating a new account.
New investment account.
New investment account.
I'll
Second.
second it.
Okay, Bass second. Now, it was this time, it was this, on this end.
It's okay.
Okay, all in favor? Unanimous. Thank you, gentlemen. 17, dates of upcoming council meetings. Council to discuss, consider, and possibly take action to cancel regular council sessions for November and December, and instead schedule special called meetings earlier in the month to accommodate scheduled holidays. That means Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Yeah.
So, Mrs. Mayor, on this one, my proposal is to cancel the regular council meetings for this November and December, schedule those special call meetings to accommodate the holiday schedules. And also, we need to have city council select that new date to hear from the engineering, for here on the hydraulic analysis and mapping system project. So my recommendation is that we have the special call meeting on the 16th of November.
For the analysis.
For the analysis and for the purpose of seating the new council, and if the timeline works out, canvassing the official results from the county elections department, and then having a meeting for our regular purposes. It will be a special call meeting, but for the items that normally go on a council agenda on November 30th. And then I'd like to propose that for the December meeting, we actually defer that, a couple weeks there to January the 5th. And now why I'm recommending that, full disclosure, our finance director is gonna be out of the office. The holidays are rolling in, some of those bills are gonna be coming in a little bit slower, we're gonna be out of the office a little bit more. And with the finance director being out, myself and the city secretary are gonna be filling in those gaps. And we are not quite as efficient as she is at handling all the finances, so I wanna make sure that we get that to you, in a correct fashion.
I would like to mention the lady he's talking about is Esther. And Esther is, fixing to give birth to a boy, her first boy, 4 girls and a boy, 5 girls, 4 girls. 4 girls, this will be their first boy. And she's a very dedicated lady. She went to her doctor and he told her that they're gonna induce labor next Thursday. So I said, oh, is Friday your last day? She says, no, I'm gonna work till Wednesday, the day before. So she's here. Yes, Mr. Palmer.
On Esther, she was hired in,
14 years ago.
I don't remember exact month when we hired her, but I was here in 2008, so she's been here 14 years. And she's a wonderful person and a good
All of our
employee,
employees are.
and I'm proud to have her.
Yeah, all of our employees are. They really, really are. Miss Pam and everybody. They're just wonderful people. But
Uh-huh.
anyway, I just wanted to let y'all know about that because of her baby.
I have a question.
Yes, Mr. Bass.
Did you say, a call meeting on, November the 16th and one on November the 30th?
Yeah, November the 16th is gonna be a
Yeah.
special called meeting for the hydraulic
Hydraulic
analysis
system.
system.
But, you said don't have one in December at all, it's in January?
That's my recommendation, I'm open to the council's.
When are we gonna have
motions.
Thanksgiving? Maybe we're
Yeah,
gonna have
January
it
the
November.
5th?
January the 5th is my recommendation, and we can have 2, if the council approves, we could have 2 in the month of January.
Yeah.
At that first one, we would approve everything for December,
Okay.
and then at the January, or I'm sorry, at the first one in January, we would approve everything for
December.
And what are you recommending for November?
If, for
30th.
November, it'd be the 16th,
Oh, to have the analysis
then
and the council meeting.
yes.
And then the 30th of the next council meeting
Yeah.
after that.
Yeah.
Well, no, well, that'd be a special meeting. Yeah.
It's gonna be a
What he
special
said.
called meeting,
Yeah.
that's what I'm asking.
Yeah.
It's gonna be the 30th or
The
the
30th.
16th for
That's,
both.
that's y'all's that's my recommendation.
The
but y'all-
16th and the 30th.
Y'all can choose that.
Okay,
Right.
16th of, okay, because our regular meeting is the 24th of November.
That's
And
Thanksgiving.
Johnny, we can talk with Johnny and have the new council sworn, in and everything, or have them announce who they are on the 16th with the special, hydraulics analysis. Is that also when we wanna have our council meeting, and that's on a Wednesday? Or do we want to have it that week, another one that week, or have it all on the Wednesday that one week?
Have it on the 30th.
3rd is on a Wednesday. Is
Well,
that
then
all
you-
right? Does it matter, cause it's a special call?
Yeah.
A day's a day.
Yes, Miss Pam?
The financial reports won't be ready till later because
Right.
the way some.
So have it the 30th would be the best?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
okay,
Yes.
all right, thank you,
The
Miss Pam.
16th for
Okay.
Johnny, and
Yeah,
then the
16th for
30th
Johnny.
for,
Mhm.
Regular meeting.
for like a regular
Okay.
meeting, you know.
I'll make
All
a
right.
motion
Okay, and then January the 5th
then. Yeah.
for December's meeting.
I second Mr. Bass's motion.
Okay, you made the motion?
Well, the motion is, to cancel, the 2 regular meetings in November and December and, add special call meetings on November the 16th
Mhm,
and November the 30th
uh-huh,
and January the 5th.
amen, okay,
Correct.
all right. All in favor? Unanimous, thank you. All right, 18, ordinance amending the master fee schedule. Council to discuss, consider, and possibly take action, officially amending the trash rate by ordinance that were approved at the July 28th of 2022 regular called meeting for the city council.
So council, mayor, this is just an official action for ordinance to update the code. We've already approved those trash rates at previous meetings. This is just making it official.
Okay,
No, I move, well,
okay, Mr. Bass?
I move that, we, approve amending the trash rates, by ordinance that were approved at the July 28th, 2022 regularly called meeting of the city council. I
Okay.
think wasn't it like 50 cents a month? It wasn't much.
Yeah, it wasn't much, yeah.
Yeah,
I know it was 12.52%.
Yeah.
yeah. It wasn't like $1 or 50
Yeah.
cents
Do
or
we have a
something.
second? Mr. Taubert's left the room for the moment.
I'll say.
You second it?
Second it.
Taubert, okay. Prater? Okay, do I wait for him to get back in before we,
I can't take a restroom break.
yeah, or say all in favor? Of course, we can take,
Yeah.
all in favor?
Yeah.
Yeah, all in favor? Okay, 3, unanimous with, Mr. Prater's, Mr. Taubert's not in here to give his thing, but we've got 3, so that approved it. Okay, yeah, council to discuss, consider, and probably take action to approve changes to the city master for fee schedule, creating a fee for a customer service inspection and creating fees for certain meetings with the city engineers relating to development and construction.
So, folks, y'all seen the ordinance that I included in your agenda packets there? What this one is covering, first and foremost, is a request by our city engineer to be compensated for appointments and meetings that he has with developers. Right now, there's no incentive for him to meet. He's working on other projects, and the same goes for staff as well. We get a lot of requests from developers. They want to come in, they want to ask a couple questions from us. And we don't mind, giving them 1 or 2 freebies and giving them the information they need to make a decision. But when those meetings start to kind of accumulate and they need to go into a little bit more detail, codifying these fees and allowing us to collect some funds can compensate the city engineer and staff and allow us to meet with them and continue to give them the attention that they need.
Here, here.
Furthermore, this one, I'm also introducing a customer service inspection fee in the amount of $75. What this allows us to do is, going forward, when we do get a request to have a new connection hook up, like Gene was saying, we have a customer service inspector now, so we can send them out, and this fee will cover his time.
Okay,
Okay,
Mr. Wiggins?
okay, we have an ordinance here, so I'll make a motion that we approve ordinance number 10-27-2022-1, which refers to everything we just talked about.
Okay. All
I
right.
second.
Bass seconded. Okay, and that, I'm gonna repeat that since we've got the code here. It has been approved, that we accept the changes to the city master fee schedule, creating a fee for a customer service inspection, and create fees for certain meetings with the city engineer related to development and construction, code number 10-27-2022-1. Okay, all in favor? Unanimous.
And one other thing,
Yes, sir.
Mr. Mayor, did we need to specifically, on that item A, did we need to refer to this ordinance number?
On A?
I do not believe so, no.
No. Okay, sure.
Are we okay on that, Pam?
Yeah.
It's not necessary.
Pam, do we need to include that ordinance number in that?
Probably.
You're not gonna hurt anything.
Yes.
Okay, you probably need to add.
Yeah, okay, what is
It's
it
not gonna
number?
hurt anything to put it
Yeah,
in there.
what is it? What's that number?
Okay, so that ordinance number on that A is,
Okay,
number is 102-72022. 10-27-2022
okay,
is the ordinance
Okay.
number.
okay,
That was back up on, number A.
council approved the official amending the trash rates by ordinance that were approved at the July 28 of 2022 regular called meeting of the city council, code number 1027-2022. It was, motion made by Bass and Prater seconded, and it was done by all.
Okay.
Okay. 19.
Now you just put it in there.
Amendment to the water users agreement, customer service inspection required. Council to discuss, consider, and possibly take action to approve and, can't pronounce that word, I'm sorry.
To approve, let's see,
Number 19.
Addendum.
Addendum.
Did
Yeah, addendum,
oh,
right? Addendum.
addendum.
To the application and agreement for utility service to include a mandatory TCEQ required customer service inspection prior to installation of a new water meter or before re-establishing service after a disconnection.
So if you'll take a look at the screen here, this is kind of what we're talking about when we're talking about customer service inspections. If at any point there is a decrease in pressure somewhere in the system, say for a leak, or if you're having to do multiple flushes, you'll see up there at vent 2, if somebody were to have a water hose laying on inside a cattle trough or inside a bucket of, say, paint thinner that they were washing out, there's a reverse pressure that's created when you open up another section of the system, allowing some of that water to suck back in. So these customer service inspections allow us to go out there, check the property, make sure that they have vacuum breakers on those spigots and those faucets. It is TCU required, and we just want to protect our public water supply.
You have to have an air gap between them.
Air gap, vacuum breakers,
it out, whatever.
making sure that
Backflow
the pipes are
preventers,
used.
all
are
kind of
correct.
things.
Yep, there's a few things that go into it.
So it won't siphon back into the water system.
Right, and so if you'll go to the next slide, so what we're looking at here is amending that agreement. It is required by Texas Administrative Code, and this is the standard language that's coming from TCEQ. We only modified our city name, not doing anything fancy here, but this would be an addendum to the 3/2022 approved water use agreement. So it would just go on there with any new customer service agreement that goes out.
I'll make a motion to add that into the
Talbot, okay.
water application and agreement.
Okay, we have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, Prater second. All in favor? Unanimous? Okay, thank you. Number 21, establishment of an infrastructure planning commit.
You skipped
Oh,
one.
did I miss it? Oh,
20.
Oh, 20. I'm sorry, I'm jumping ahead. Council to discuss, consider, and possibly take action to approve the city administrator to attend, oh, well, you didn't need to do that anyway. No, to attend the Texas Municipal League, Economic Development 2-day conference in November.
I move to approve.
Definitely.
Number 20.
I'll second.
Okay, Bass made the improvement. This is gonna be very helpful
Yeah.
for him to go to this meeting. It really is. So Bass, and who seconded?
I didn't.
Oh, Wiggins. Okay, all in favor? Unanimous. Think about us while you're down there.
I'll try my best, thank you.
Now, 21. Okay, establishment of an infrastructure planning committee. I'll get, I'm learning some of these words. I'm trying my best. Council to discuss, consider, and possibly take action on the establishment of a committee to meet on an as-needed basis to explore, research, and prioritize proposed projects relating to our water system, sewer system, and other vital infrastructures.
So this means we need to appoint somebody kind of like the
Yeah.
street committee. If
So
this is
on
a-
this one, this would be similar to the street committee. So my proposal on this one here, we've got a lot of projects that we need to do, mostly relating towards water. Some of them are gonna be relating towards our sewer system once that gets up online. We've got some bigger projects maybe on roads. There's some opportunities in establishing some broadband connectivity throughout the community, or potentially reviewing some of our franchise agreements. So The purpose of this committee, like the mayor was saying, we want to allocate this year's monies that are budgeted for our water system upgrades. Some of those will be addressing, you know, some more specific compliance issues. And then also bring forth that proposal to the entire council for the final approval. But to further study, research, help prioritize these longer term projects, we kind of need an all hands on deck type approach to that one. So it is temporary. It can be ended at any point we need to. It's as needed. We don't have to call a month, a meeting anytime we want. Just it could be on a week to week, month to month basis. And so with this one here, I will leave that up
Okay.
to you and the mayor.
All right, my recommendation for this is that I'd like to see the committee to be made up of 2 council members and staff. That's just my recommendation, but it is up to the council that we do this. Have 2 council members and staff members. Yes, sir.
I don't really care for the committees, but I mean, if we need it, we need it. But the thing is, the two council members that's on the committee, they know everything going up until the meeting, the council meeting. So I don't mind having a committee, but if we could have Kent call the rest of the council members so everybody's caught up. So we
To
don't
let
have,
you know what
we don't
they
have
decide.
3 days to look at what we're looking at, the ones that's not on the committee.
Yeah,
If we could do something like
I
that.
can certainly try my best on that one.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
purpose of the committee is to kind of take some heat off of the regular council and to do the brunt of the work on that one.
Right, but you got-
Streamline it.
Yeah, you got 2 people on the committee, and then we got 3 days to look at what the committee looked at all month.
Recommended, yes, sir.
So, I mean,
well,
I don't like having 3 days to catch up on. on
well, I do
running around.
recommend though that, the staff members and
She
stuff,
said
and of
them.
course Kent, but we need somebody else on the committee.
And what I can do is
Well, I agree on that.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
You'd like to be up to date on it before the
3
council
people-
meeting.
Or anybody, the 3 people that's not on the committee they got 3 days to catch up by the time we get our agenda. We got 3 days, the persons that's not on the committee's got 3 days to catch up on what the 2 on the committee's been
Unless we
doing
can
all.
send an email or
So
something.
the
I
committee,
can include
we
this
could-
on my regular email updates
Email
that I've been
updates.
sending out.
Would that work? Like an email update to all the council members?
Right, as long as I know what the other 3 know, the other 2 know at the same time.
I agree, I
That's-
agree.
I mean, that's.
Mr. Palmer?
let's just say you have the committee and just say they meet the 10th or 15th of the month, and that gives you plenty of time for
Email it.
for Mr. Matt to have the information to relay to the council.
Yes, sir, that's what he.
I don't disagree with Richard at all.
Okay, no, I agree.
As long as I don't, or whoever's not on the committee has time to
Right.
look at it.
But you
I agree.
And
You just
put
have-
out a report, kinda like
Yeah.
you're talking
Yeah.
about like.
That's the way he does his report,
Right.
he'll put out there what is coming up and
I agree.
everything, so,
That's
okay, all right, we could do that. All right,
So who's going to appoint this committee? Do we need somebody to appoint it?
Yes, that's what we're doing tonight.
Okay.
Whatever makeup, pleases the council on that one.
does anybody have any recommendations on who they'd like to be on, Ms. Payne?
I think y'all will wait on that until the new people are in office.
Till the new people are in office, because we might have 2 new people.
Good idea.
You know, you gotta wait and see who's gonna be on the new.
Right, because we got 2 new people running, so, they could be on there.
We could always kind of implement that and change that at a future council session, but I
Okay.
would like to make this, I would like to get this committee started
Started.
ASAP.
Yeah.
We have the money, we would like to kind of get going with this project, and I would like for the first meeting to occur almost immediately after that hydraulic analysis is presented, so we can get to work on what we need to send out to bid and construction if possible.
But on a note there, the hydraulic analysis report is gonna be on the 16th, is what we said. And also, swear in the new members, right? Okay, so why couldn't we at the same time?
We don't swear them in, but we know who they are.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
can't swear them in until January, right? Don't they get sworn in
No,
in
no,
January
they'll
first
be-
of the
no,
year?
they'll be starting
Or they
in
start in
No.
November?
No, they'll
In
be
November,
sworn in.
okay,
But-
gotcha.
Well, why don't we just wait till then, and then we'll know who's on it, and then they'll be here at that meeting, and then at that time, the council can, because it's a special meeting, so we can put what we want to on the agenda.
Yes, sir.
So then we can wait till then and put it on the agenda,
Okay,
and then do it at that time.
okay, all right. You do that. Wait till the special meeting, and once we swear the people in, that way that gives them a chance to,
Yeah,
like, if they
because
wanna
you-
if they wanna say, hey, I'd like to be on it, or not, don't wanna be on it, or,
Right,
We can
because
do-
what I heard you say, you wanted to get the ball rolling, but you wanted on to wait till they heard from that hydraulic analysis report, right? Okay.
Yes, sir.
So I think we could do it all at that 16th meeting.
Okay.
okay?
So you want this table 21?
So do we wanna table 21?
Yes, sir.
So
Yes.
we can table 21?
Yes.
I move we table item
Okay,
21.
Mr. Bass moves that we, table 21,
I'll
and
second
Wiggins
that.
seconds,
Till November 16th.
till November the 16th.
That's correct.
Table until November the 16th, Bass and Wiggins. All in favor? Unanimous, okay. All right, 22, public hearing, water rate. Council to hear public comments on proposed increases to the city of Bruceville-Eddy public water system rate.
Are you having a public hearing now?
Yes, and so we need to
We'll have to close the meeting.
All right, it is, okay, yeah, it is, let me see, I gotta look at my time. It is 7:56 PM and this council meeting is closed. It is 7:56 and we're now opening up the public hearing. Okay. Anybody?
Y'all don't all race to the podium at one time.
How much are you planning on raising it? I mean, what is the current rate, what's the new rate going to be?
So we're gonna be talking about all that after the public hearing, but at this point, if anybody in the public wants to just provide some conversation, some
feedback,
feedback, you know, this is your opportunity.
Hey, we don't want to raise, hey, we want it, you know. But tell us how you feel. Mr. Talbert.
I think we've talked about this several meetings before, and, the inflation and the cost of the water system in the city. It's been over 5 years since there's been an increase, and in, 39 years, I think there's only been 7.
Okay, well, we can't,
So this is,
it has to be public. It has to be from the public.
I know, I'm not going into the race.
I know, but you.
Oh, okay.
You have to discuss that
Well,
part.
she asked a question, I'm trying to answer.
Oh, I know, but that's with the next thing. So, no questions out there, no, okay?
When is this water rate, what are you thinking about implementing it, if it passes?
So I will address that one on our next section on the agenda. Our implementation schedule, I'm recommending would be, January of next year.
Did the water system, in the fiscal year with a positive amount?
Yes, ma'am, it did.
Can you tell us how much?
I do not have that number right off the top of my head.
Y'all don't know the finance statement?
We do, and I could dig that one up, but I just don't have it off the top of my head on that one. But we can definitely get into the discussion on this one.
Okay, it is 7:58 and the public hearing is now closed. It is 7:58 and our regular council meeting has re-adjourned, okay? Number 24, water rate, proposed new rate structure. Council to discuss, consider, and possibly take action to approve a proposed water rate structure for the Bruceville-Eddy water system, including the addition of a water meter testing fee. Council will review our current rates along with recent rate increases passed along to the city of Bruceville-Eddy public water system for our bulk water supplies, Blue Bonnet Water Supply Corporation. Council will discuss and review different options for updating our current rates of ensuring fund, solvers.
Solvency.
Yes, that word. Solvers.
Solvency.
Solvency.
Be sure we got enough money to operate.
Yeah.
Approve the
Mr. Wiggins.
Okay, on this one here, I'm gonna say that, you know, there again, I think we need to wait until we hear what's in the hydraulic analysis report before we can have all the facts to make an informed decision. It's kind of like if we say, well, we're gonna go up on the rate now for whatever we may decide, whatever price, and then we have that hydraulic analysis report and, oh, we should have went up more, or maybe we shouldn't have went up that much. You know, we don't know. It's kind of like going to the bank and say, I need to borrow some money for a car, and they say, well, how much you need to borrow? Well, I don't know. You know, that's not very good business. So, it's gonna be my suggestion that we postpone this until after the hydraulic analysis report. And with that being said, keep in mind, by that time, the new council will be in place. And that way, they will have, you know, their say in the matter and be able to weigh in on it also.
So are you making a motion to table this, Mr. Williams?
Yes, with that said, I'm making a motion to table it.
Okay, second?
I'll second.
Okay, Prater? All right, so this has been tabled till we have more information.
Maybe.
Okay, all in favor? Unanimous. And this will be tabled until till we have more information for you, and our new council members are in. Okay? All right, okay, 25, okay? Request to bring forth proposals to appoint a new city attorney. Council to discuss, consider, and possibly take action to approve the city administrator to begin the purpose of searching for designating a new city attorney. The city administrator will research firms and gather proposals to be presented to the council for consideration at a further council session. Okay, you wanna take this over before we talk? What this is, we have city attorney. I'm gonna say a few things on it and then I'll give it to the city administrator. We have a firm now, but I think they have more on their plate than they can handle because it takes forever for us to get any replies back. So we're looking to find maybe another firm. Now, I believe our the attorney that comes here for court, the district. Yeah, but I mean, no, the gentleman that comes here, I think Esther had mentioned something about she'd like to keep him, the prosecutor. Yeah, to keep him. But anyway, I'm gonna leave this over to
This is something different than he.
Topper.
Yes. Topper.
Yeah.
Don't call him Topper. He
Topper.
was so.
Well, I was looking at you because you were talking, so.
Well, when he finishes, I want to say something.
All right, council, mayor, so it kind of displeases me that I have to bring this before your attention. I wish this wasn't the case, but we're kind of stunted here at the staff level, not having a fully cooperational city attorney. So since my time of being here, and it has been short, I've been here 3 months, but we've been experiencing some significant delays from our legal team. It's been affecting our just general legal guidance and any of our projects. It's been slowing us down. We also just see a whole lot of lack of adequate communication. I mean, right now I've been waiting on a response for 2 weeks for something that I wanted to put on this council agenda that I haven't heard back on. And so I kind of wanted to play that out and just see how it happened. And it always kind of seems to be us following up with them. We have brought this to our city attorney's attention. We let them know that we needed some more proactivity on their end. We did believe we saw a little slight improvement with that, but I wouldn't say it's enough to continue to justify their services. Danielle, if you go to the next slide for me there. So one of my comments on this one is that we do have a stellar prosecutor from the same law firm. I don't know what the disconnect is here, but on the prosecutorial side, they're doing a great job. We get communication with them same day, a few days later. We get that these are not that we're not their only clients, and so we're trying to be as understanding as possible. Furthermore, we also have Texas Municipal League. We use them. We're members of their system. We try to keep our costs down. When we contact them for general guidance and updates, they don't charge us a dime for that. They do usually go back and defer us to our city attorney for the final opinion on that one, but we utilize them as much as possible, and we'll continue to do so even with a new attorney in a firm. Daniel, if you'll go one more further. Right now, we also have a stellar water team. They helped us get through a pretty sticky situation over the last year, as far as I'm concerned, and as far as I've heard. A very responsive team there. They get us our information, within the week, a few days, so at least we know what's going on. So I'm not recommending any changes on the prosecutor side or on our water system side. I'm just talking about appointing a new named city attorney. What I'd like to do is spend the next month or so researching those for you, bring forth 2 to 3 options for you to consider. Some things I'm going to be looking at, though, just so you know ahead of time. I want to make sure that we have an affordable rate structure. Whether they're meeting with us online, contacting us via email, you know how attorneys are. They're going to charge us for our time, right? I want to make sure that works out for us. Typically, a lot of these firms have paralegals that will charge a lower rate. I want to make sure that they have a robust paralegal team that allows us to get some of our ordinances drafted at not the full attorney's rate. I want somebody with a wide berth of experience and history practicing municipal law. We're talking about a topic here that is a mile long and an inch deep. There's a lot of different topics that you have to go over in municipal law, and so having somebody who's familiar with that really helps us out here as a staff be able to give you all the best information that you need to be able to make your decisions. And then also we just want somebody who has a team mindset. When an attorney's out, we don't want to have to wait 2 to 3 weeks until somebody gets back from vacation. Somebody should be able to pick up the ball and help us out with our issues. So with that all being said, I'll leave it up to y'all to discuss.
Mr. Talbot?
Sounds good. They basically, I know Mr. Bass has wanted this for a long time.
Sure have.
I have too, since the day I got on here.
I'm so glad he's gone.
But the main problem they had is, what I think what Mr. Mann, I'm not speaking for him, is they've held us up for a long time on the sewer. And that's really delayed things, and it's really been, very painful, but I know Mr. Mann personally has tried to communicate with them many, many times. They won't return his calls, won't email him 3 or 4 weeks, and that's just not acceptable. So I'm in favor, and if we get through the discussion, I'll make the motion to give him the authority to do that.
Mr. Bass, you said you had a
Well,
question?
he pretty well covered it.
Oh, did he?
I just
Okay.
want to say thank God and Graham.
And
That
he's
man's
gone.
gone. Yeah.
Mr. Prater?
Yeah.
Is this gonna slow us up on getting another lawyer caught up on the sewer, or is this gonna help us to get the sewer going?
He don't have much to do with the
Answer
sewer.
that.
He
Without-
don't have.
Without
No.
talking to him.
Yeah.
If we get a
We're gonna do the
attorney-
research.
I would say if we get an attorney who really wants to be in our best interest, they take the time to hear out our needs and get
So
caught
this
up to
could
speed
help
pretty
us
good.
on the sewer.
Mhm.
I think so.
Okay.
Now, we're all caught up.
We're
to
all
date
caught up with the
legally.
attorney
We've
stuff.
got
all
six-
caught up.
Okay, so we can,
This won't delay us on that.
No,
No,
it should
it
not
will
be
not.
less. Okay, Mr. Wiggins?
And I think the main thing is, it's not like we're not gonna do any business with that law firm. Because we're satisfied with some of them, and I know that Mr. Dan Platt, the bond attorney that came here and did a great job,
Yes, he did.
and some other ones too, is just, as he says there, the city attorney.
Mhm.
And, I think there's a lot of other ones out there that can
Yes.
fit us better and, work with us. And
Municipal
so,
law, that's what I'm
I agree 100%.
Okay, so Mr. Talbot, you made a motion,
Yes,
right?
yes, ma'am.
I'll
Okay,
second
go ahead.
it.
You second it, Mr. Bass?
Mhm.
All right,
Glad.
all in favor?
Gladly.
Unanimous, okay. Our city administrator is gonna start looking for us a new city attorney, that is up on, municipal law and with some paralegals that, can help us out on certain things or getting our codes and stuff up. So, that's approved, okay. All right, now we're gonna go with the community announcements. Do we have any community announcements? Anybody? Mr. Martinez, he's got one, he's up moving around. Yes, sir. I'm just joking, honey. I'm just joking. Don't you pay, he knows better to pay attention to me.
I got it now.
Yes, sir.
If everybody didn't know, the senior citizens is reopened, and they're open Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So if y'all want to support that for the community, that's
All right.
just let everybody know.
Chicken fried steak in the county.
There you go.
Yes, it is. Very good chicken fried steak.
Not good as mine.
Okay. And I have one, I have a haunted house for the kids and for the adults every year. Have been doing it ever since my grandchild was 5 years old. He's 17. It started out in just one little room, and now it's gotten very big. And it's free. It's only on Halloween night, but y'all are welcome to come and go through it. If you want to be scared, let me know. We'll make sure it happens. So that's going to be on Halloween.
It's nice, big deal.
Huh?
Make a motion to adjourn.
Okay, is that
I'll
it?
take it.
Okay.
All in favor?
All in favor? Okay. It is now 8:10. This meeting is adjourned.
Sir.
Okay.
I'm gonna
Talbert
tell you for whatever it's worth. I think you're doing a
and
good
Bass.
job. You too.
Thank you.
Did you get those, Talbert and Bass?